We're going to be talking about cube and cube roots. The definition of a cube and a cube root are: a cube is a three-dimensional figure with 6 equal faces and all edges are equal. A cube root is the edge of the cube. Miss Saw is going to be showing you how to actually construct a cube. Go for it, Miss Saw.
Hi everybody, today we're going to be talking about cubes and cube roots. What our main focus today is really cube roots, but in order to understand cube roots, we need to understand first what is a cube. So if you take a look here, we have something that may look familiar to you. It's like a Rubik's Cube. And what is special about a cube is that it has the same length, the same width, and the same height. So for example, like in a Rubik's Cube, we have a length of 3, a width of 3, and a height of 3. So what we're looking for in a cube or cubes is how many squares or how many cubes fit in the cube. So if we look here, we are looking for the length, which is 3, the width, which is 3, and the height, which is 3, which we also can see as 3 cubed. So what we're looking for is the volume when we are cubing something. So if we take a look here, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and let's see how many cubes fit in here. So we have on the bottom layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what that means is what we did 3 times 3, which gives me 9. But that only takes care of the bottom layer. Now what I'm looking for is how many more to fill it in. We have 1, 2, 3, which is my height. So what I need to do is multiply by 3. What does that mean for my cube? We have 9, 9, and 9. So in total, we have 9 times 3, which is 27. So that is what we mean by cubes. So we have 27 cubic units. Now, when we are looking for cube roots, what is happening is we are saying if I'm given the volume, which means if I have 27 cubes in there, what is the length, the width, and the height? We're looking for the cube root. So if we look here, we want to know what times what times what, or the length and width times height, equals 27, which we know is 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So then what the cube root is equal to 3. So if we write this here, we will know that 3 cubed is equal to 27, and the cube root of 27 is equal to 3.
Cubes and cube roots. Let's look at 4 different cubes. Notice that the edges on each cube are different. Using that edge, we can calculate the volume. So how do we actually calculate cube and cube roots? Let's look at this cube right here. This cube has a volume of 8 unit cubes. The edge, or the cube root, is 2. So if I take that edge and multiply itself by itself 3 times, I get the volume. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Now let's calculate the volume of this cube. Notice that each edge is 3. Multiply those edges by themselves 3 times, 3 times 3 times 3, and we get a volume of 27 unit cubes. How about calculating the cube root of a cube of 64? Here's a picture of our cube of 64. There are 64 unit cubes in this cube, and we want to calculate the cube root or the edge. Set up this equation. A number times a number times a number equals 64. Let's guess and check what number would work. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. No, that's not going to work. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Let's try again. 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. We're getting closer. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. You got it. The cube root is 4. If you look at the picture, you'll see that the side equals 4. Nice work, everybody. What do you think the next 4 cubes and cube roots would be? Let's notice the patterns. So if we look at what the next 4 roots would be, what numbers would you use? Let's pause here, get a piece of paper, and write down what you think the next cube root and cubes would be. When finished, press play to the next page and check your answers. Okay, let's check and see how you did. What do you think the next 4 cubes and cube roots would be? Did you follow the patterns? Notice that we started with 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. The next 4 would be 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. And 8 times 8 times 8 equals 512. I bet you could figure out what the next one would be. How did you do?